All right, so here we have our warm up for each different cycle here. Basically, the main things to point out are that each warm up you move in all planes of direction, and we start off from a slow pace to gradually getting faster as we go. So, as we warm up, we move at a faster pace. So, knee lifts, quad stretch, leg kicks, heel to toe sweeps, forward lunge, reverse lunge, and then we get a little bit quicker. We do high knees, A skip. So we're moving forward, side shuffle, side to side, karaoke, and then we do backwards, back pedal. Specific dynamic warm ups. We have lunges this day. We have some single leg squatting later in the actual lift. Band pull parts, farmers carries, so chest, back, lats. We have some bench this day as well, I believe. If we go to, yeah, we have the push up here, bench fly. Yeah, so we're priming the same muscles that we're going to be using later for the workout. Plyometrics today. So, with it being a muscle endurance phase, this will usually be in the beginning of the year. So, we want to cover the basics for our athletes. So, we have snap downs, right? So, we're learning how to land. We have pogos, which are low intensity plyometric, working on ankle stiffness. We have side hops, so working a little laterally. And then we have a partner kneeling med ball chest pass, again, priming the muscles for chest exercises to come. And also, I like to add partner workouts in there whenever we can, builds good team camaraderie. Speed technique drills again, beginning of the year with the muscle endurance, so we're working on a lot of form. Got our arm action sequences, single response, double response, triple response. We do wall drills, so working on our angles, acceleration angles, single response, double response, triple response. We have wall slides, so working on our backside mechanics, single, double, triple response, and our pause. So working on where we want to strike on the ground in relation to where on our foot and the recovery position for the next stride. Um, Hypertrophy along the same lines. I'm not a big fan of just doing long, extended, 1-2 minute jogs. Never do I want to practice my athletes being slow. So you won't see any of that in my warm up. We'll do jumping jacks, right? It's a longer duration, but in my mind, each movement is more precise and quicker. And then we kind of work on some of our starts here, sprint starts. To throw them into the warm up, we could put them into actual more speed acceleration if we wanted to. Working on starts. Again, hypertrophy will probably be in the beginning of the year. So working on different types of starts for our athletes would be a good idea. We have some squat movements here, some glute work, and also some shoulder mobility stuff here. This day I believe we have squat and shoulder mobility or shoulder stuff. Yep, barbell push press, dumbbell side lateral raise. Yeah, our front squat is our first core lift for that. So yep, that's why we're doing that. Strength. Again, just a different variation for the warm up. Same kind of movements though. I think in reality, I wouldn't change the warm up every single day. That's going to be a lot to go through every single day. Maybe change it up, once every phase or so, kind of like it is here, I guess. But in the long run, athletes should know what to expect with the warm up to some extent. We don't want them to become just robots when they do it, but if you're going to change it up every day, that's going to be a lot of instruction to do every single day. And for the most part, we want to get through our warm up fairly quick. Specific dynamic warm ups. Some barbell stuff. So just a couple good mornings, stretching the hamstrings, some core twist rotation. So working in that transverse plane with the core, plyos. So these are all with a partner. We have forward toss. So the athlete is on the floor tossing it up towards their partner. The partner is balancing on one leg. It's actually like a core stability movement as well. Backward toss, they're throwing it over their head to the partner behind them, and the prone toss, so they're face down. This is used with a really light ball. In some cases, even like a tennis ball, because it's pretty hard for most athletes. Then we have med ball, one arm push ups. So one hand is on the med ball, the other one's on the ground. We alternate arms. Then we have two of them, so it's almost like a diamond style push up. So prepping a little bit for what's to come for that day. And then an example of some agility, we would do the pro agility, the 5-10 um, 5 drill, have it doing it 3 times there. It's a little shorter today because if we look at the strength workout, it was over here, and it's going to be 138 minutes in total, so a little bit on the longer side. So some days we have more extra work, some days not so much. For our power, again, another general dynamic warm up. Specifics today was a highlight of the stall bar work. These are all good to do with a partner, and they work on mobility and range of motion. Right? If we want to produce as much force and power as possible, we need to be able to flex, bend, extend, and rotate. So, bullets over bowling balls, and we got to be able to move in space. So, stall bars are a great way to do that. And then I threw in a couple plyos here, the scoop toss and the floor kip. These are, especially the floor kip is more advanced. The scoop toss, um, I like it, triple extension, working on that as we go into our power clean for the day. But as we'll talk later, we have a lot of plyometric work this day in the actual workout. So it's a high intensity. So I didn't want to put in too much, but I did want to highlight a couple plyometric exercises for the day. And then the floor kip is basically when you're lying on the floor, face up, and you tuck your legs underneath you, and you jump up from that. So rapid hip extension to get yourself up on your feet. If we go muscle endurance, so the med ball slam, put that in there because I wanted something to kind of get our bodies used to the triple extension that we need. So we're picking the ball off the floor, triple extending as the ball goes over our head, and then we slam it down. 15 reps, 50%. Lateral lunge, so we have a unilateral movement, dumbbell RDL, bilateral. We have our push up and our pull with our single arm dumbbell row. You'll see a lot of single arm stuff usually in muscle endurance phase. Again, it's usually a preparatory phase. So coordination and balance between limbs is important. Dumbbell bench fly, paired with bent over dumbbell side lateral raise. Hanging leg raises, so core movements. So we have core here, and then a rotational core. Then we have our stretches for the day. Partner PNF stretch at the end there. Probably be pretty taxed with our chest work for the day. So we go over here, hypertrophy, front squat for the day. It's our main lift. We have barbell push press. You could also make this like a seated dumbbell press or a standing dumbbell press, depending on where your athlete is at. You're going to pair that with a lat cable pull down. Dumbbell side lateral raise paired with dumbbell lat pull over. And so we have a lot of our shoulder and lat work going on here in both these. We have a split stance cable crossover, so core, and then we have a static core, plank hold. More stretching there at the end, focused on more of our shoulders and our lats that we did. Here we have our strength, snatch, pull from the low blocks. Usually low blocks will put the bar at more of a position that when we grab it, we're more of in our jumping athletic stance. If it's all the way on the floor, it could be a little low for some athletes, especially if they're above 6'2", 6'3". So yeah, we're working 90% for 5. That's 90% based off your snatch. So you will see a lot of velocity on this, hopefully, more than you would 90%, of maybe your deadlift. For the bench, I wanted to establish it. It's a cluster set. So while it is 95% and 5 reps would be on the high end for 95%, by breaking it down into a cluster set, the athlete could do, 1-1-1, or, 2-1-1-1-1. However, they can accumulate 5 reps. So, hit 2 reps, put the bar down, rest for a second, and then go and hit it again if you need to. So, kind of allows them to challenge themselves. Low TheraBound external rotation to pair it with, so something just low intensity, but we're working on range of motion in our shoulders. Pendlay row, so we had our big push here with the bench press. Here's our pull, Pendlay row. Tricep work, to accompany our bench press, so strengthening some muscles around it, and then also couples well with our bicep curl. Not a big fan of the bicep curl. I don't think it has a ton of relevance to athletic performance, but thought I'd throw it in there. It's usually a crowd pleaser, and it goes well with our tricep work. Um, Neck flexion and extension, stretching. With the snatch pull, we'll see a lot of work in the traps, so some neck work should be helpful for stretching. Again, the chest, triceps, shoulders. And then we go into our power phase. So we got a little crazy here. We went power clean first, just to kind of warm us up and prep us there. 3x85, not too bad. But then we'll go into, this is what I wouldn't do this unless you're more of an advanced lifter. But I like it. I like the concepts that Cal Dietz comes up with. And triphasic training, that's where I first heard about it. We have the French contrast. So I'm probably not going to see this unless you're on more the advanced side. Usually we start with like simple compounds and triple compound lifts, and then 4 movements together would be a French contrast. So what it is a back squat, iso hold at the bottom for 3 seconds. We're working in the 80 to 90% range. So here we have 85% for 3. After you do that, you're going to pair it directly with a vertical jump. So it's just your body weight. You do 4 of them. After you do that, you're going to go directly into a dumbbell vertical jump. So you're holding dumbbells, roughly 30% of your back squat. So if you're 300 range, it should be like a 45 in each hand. So it's fairly heavy. Then you're going to pair that with an assisted band jump. So this is your overspeed work. So for this, I would like tie a large band to the top of the rack, and what you do is you squat down, and as you jump up, the band will assist you on the way up. So you're working over your capacity, keeping the velocity high of your vertical jump. So yeah, so if you haven't read Cal Dietz' books on triphasic training or looked into French contrasting, it's pretty crazy. Give it a look. So yeah, I wanted to throw that in there. Seated alternating dumbbell press. So again, unilateral work, and we pair it with our pull-up, 5 times maximal effort. So if the athlete can only do their body weight, then that'll be body weight. If the athlete could do 5 reps with 100 pounds hanging from them, then that's fine. We're just looking for 5 reps at the highest intensity that they can. Then we have some static stretching to end the day. And that will be a quick summary of what we have here. Let me know if you have any questions.